I ain't seen anybody get 5 aces 3 hands in a row against me. And I know it ain't my Wi-Fi because she's back at the wagon with all the kids. You're right, I called you yellow. What are you gonna do about it? Oh no, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. It's okay. Take all the money. You can have it. I'll put it out. I'll put it out right now. Hey everybody, you all seen Cletus around here? I don't know where he's at. Hey Bessie. Oh, you Bessie? There's Bessie. Hey guys, it's John the Net Guy. I can't do that expression for too long. This is so much fun. This is Tech on Tuesday on Wednesday. Yeah, I know. There's a little bit of stuff going on there. This is the second or third revival of it. It's been some time coming here. Let me switch over to my headset so I can chat with you guys. Would love to talk to you here. There we go. Audio should be much better there and hopefully all cleaned up. But yeah, it is Tech on Tuesday on Wednesday now. Only this week. Sorry guys, I had a little bit of a health issue in the family here. We had a bunch of people over and my youngest daughter got strep throat. And if you've ever been a parent with strep throat, dealing with a kid with strep throat, that was a absolute nightmare. So that was kind of fun. A lot of things conspired against us. And then on yesterday's show, actually on Monday, my wife got sick. She started throwing up and I had to do all sorts of dad duties as it comes down to it. But today's show is going to be awesome. We have a giveaway. We are doing the Trifle Lucy drawing today. I also have a gaggle of really cool products that I'm excited to talk about. So I'm going to let the Amazon guys in. You guys know how that works now. And got to open the door for them a little bit later than you guys because I have to tell you all about the cool stuff going on. We're just going to double check that Amazon's had some weird stuff going on lately, so I want to make sure that I can get them this stream. It says waiting for stream data. That's not a good sign. Give me 1 second to get that figured out. If you are in the chat, let me know. Did you guys get to see the Wise Air Purifier? I'm going to call it WAP all day long now just because it's fun. But did you guys see the Wise Air Purifier video that I did? that had old Net Guy talking to Cletus and Bessie. Because it was absolutely hilarious. Let's see here. Got to do external camera. As usual, I have to send something here around to myself. Hopefully you guys can see me in the chat. I'm just going to pop on over and look. Yeah, my chat, for some reason, when I went into the chat overlay, I see a couple of you guys chatting on, looks like YouTube right now. It's going to be that kind of day. So I'm going to go in here to the guys that turned my Amazon on. Amazon had some issues last week, and I just want to make sure that we're live for those folks because we do actually have a lot of people that do watch on Amazon. We get over 1,000 viewers on Amazon. Not at the same time, mind you. But, you know, no, a lot of them come through and they're just breezing by the product page, but it is nice to be able to show them what's going on here. So I'm going to go in here. Got Amazon, but I think it's going to have a new stream key. So give me 1 second to get that going for these guys. And let me know what you thought of the last one, because it was really fun. Honestly, I had a blast making that video. And that is the right Amazon Live. That stream key looks different, though. Let's copy that. Oh, no, that's different, too. Okay. Let's do this. We will copy. Dashboard. Save. Turn off the Amazon. And we'll come back over here. So we'll save that. And we're going to turn on Amazon again and see if they'll let us in this time. So today's show is going to have a lot of really cool home energy products. I tell you, I am totally jazzed about these things because they are just so cool. And I do have to show you one thing I stole from my wife today. If you follow me on Twitter, it's an add to cart kind of day. I'm just saying. Just saying. That's my thing. So, yeah. I got my encoder sending over to Amazon, and everything is supposed to be good. Keyframe interval is right. Everything is right. That's not good. Well, we may have to play with this one. I'm going to close the Amazon app and we'll try it one more time. And we'll get those Amazon people in there. And if they're not, we're still going to do the drawing, so stick around. We'll have some fun here. Tried Amazon, but no joy. Can't wait to get home. Have a new controller coming in. Hall sensor triggers. Retail therapy. That's crazy. I'm going to send the Amazon link to somebody. Then I'm going to do view. Waiting for stream data. And I have Amazon Live clicked in here, and she is on. And the stream key, sorry, one sec, guys, is the correct key. Well, that's not good. You know, there's another way to lick this cat. Wait, that didn't come out right. I've never done an Amazon from my phone, but it is doable. So I'm going to try that. If this thing doesn't want to work, I'm going to save. I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to save it back to external camera. I'm going to hit save. I'll go to external camera, get URL stream key. Do it one more time. Make sure it didn't reset my stream keys. No, that's all the stuff that I got. And we're going to go saving. Maybe next time I got to get the Amazon one going first. This has always been the tough one. Do preview. It says waiting for stream data. I'm going to click it off and click it one more time. And then we'll go. Can't wait to get home. New controller coming in. Hall sensors, sticks, and triggers coming from Andrew Preston in the chat. That is awesome. Yeah, so we're going to do Amazon low tech phone camera. And preview. Allow. Rotate your phone to begin. It's going to use up some juice, but just, I'm telling you, they are not going to let me do this today. Well, there we go. And I got to do the backwards camera. This is going to be hilarious trying to do this. And I'm going to go there. And I'm going to go over here. Oh, that's not going to let me do that nicely. I don't want to do that. I want to have high quality for you guys. Let's do one more here. Send. We are online with Amazon right now. You know, there was a compatibility issue that they said with their updates recently. So I wonder if we got nailed into that. Sorry, guys. Why is it the Amazon people doing this to us? Well, do one more thing. I'll do one more thing. Sorry for the delay, folks. The YouTube people are like, oh, hey, we're here. What's going on? Why are the Amazon people the ones that have got to be the bad ones? Here we go. I'm just going to, jam it all in here because the way Amazon works, as soon as I launch a new stream, it should work. And this is going to be tech on Wednesday now. 12. Save. Source is external camera. Save. And preview. Hey, you know what? That one says it's going to work. Isn't that crazy? So we're going to hit go live here on Amazon, and they're going to get a copy of what we're doing live. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for your patience. I really do appreciate it. What's in that cup? The cup is empty, Jim. I promise. This cup is empty. This is for all your Amazon folks out there.
It's an add to cart kind of day. I had a great time making Wise's video. I was up till 2 a.m. on Tuesday. That was part of the other thing. So the kids were sick. I had to go to bed at like 10 p.m. And then I was up at 2 a.m. putting that video out for Wise. And it's a great product. I really love it. It's not sold on Amazon, so I can't do that on here. I can't show it to you yet. But when it is available on Amazon, it'll be on Attack on Tuesday because it's a really cool product. That's the Wise Air Purifier. But today we're going to do the Trifle Lucy vacuum giveaway. So this one, Jim is asking some questions in the Starbucks, Jim. That's what's in here. By Amazon policy, it has to be Starbucks. But that was the Trifle robot vacuum that we're giving away today. We have been giving away these vacuums. Jim, who's giving me the hard time on here, actually won the other one. He won the Emma Pet. That's the same one I bought for my folks. These are so good. I bought one for my folks as a gift. And then we had another people here earlier, Kim L. She won the Maxwell Security Enabled. The cool thing about the Trifle one here is it actually has the security cameras in it, and it has the pet features as well, which I have it sitting on, which is a pet hair extractor. So that's what you see here. So it's got this no brush, but it'll actually pull pet hair or hard surface, which is really cool, as well as a mopping attachment. Now let's see if I can do this without getting everything all dirty. There's the mopping attachment that has water in this reservoir, and it'll actually mop your floors for you. So that's the Trifo. I don't want anybody that's just new showing up to miss out on that drawing. So I'm going to open it up here. I'm going to send you guys the information on how to enter real quick. Now that we're working, I'm going to bring that up. So what we're looking at right now is the Trifle Robotics Lucy. It's got those pet-friendly features we talked about, advanced optics, 2 cameras, and the mop in it. Compared to the other ones here, just so you guys know what we're talking about here, the first one, the Maxwell, is kind of the entry-level one. Not as good as some of these other ones, but the Emma is a slightly upgraded. If you don't need security cameras in your vacuum cleaner, the Emma's the way to go. Has all the same features of the Lucy, just no cameras and some of the advanced mapping. And then the Lucy is the one we're drawing for today. I have all of the names in here, but if you want to enter the drawing, which I can put up the drawing information on there, these are the rules. So just follow the Net Guy on Amazon and then email vacuum@thenetguy.com. And if you do that, you're actually going to be entered to win. And I'm going to have to pause here a little bit to put any new entries that we get in. And then we're going to do the drawing right now, live on Tech on Tuesday, on Wednesday. So hopefully you guys are going to have a great time. Hey, I see John B. He's in the Amazon chat. Welcome. Welcome everybody that's watching on Amazon. This is John, the Net Guy. I do a weekly show called Tech on Tuesday. I bring you about 6 to 7 products that are really cool. Brands are getting on board with this. I have a backlog of several weeks of cool stuff coming up for you. Very excited to show you all of that. Tonight I'm going to show you a product that I'm just enamored with, and it's whole home energy monitoring. So that's one of the things that's coming up. It's super exciting. Stick around for that. One of the best tech products I've had all year. I paid full tilt for that, and I needed it because I had a $500 energy bill. So I don't know what your energy bill is, but I got that bill and I'm like, hey, we need to figure out where all of this is going. So that was kind of exciting, but hopefully you guys have seen the entry information. If you need it again, just shout it out in the chat and I will let you know. We can pull that up again. We're going to start off. The first product today is actually one that I didn't buy, and I'll tell you why. I got a good buddy of mine, and this is from Volrex. This is something that you're going to need when we're working on our other products here. So let me pull this up on the side camera. This is a work light, but it's probably one of the cooler work lights that you've gotten. It is $17.99 on Amazon right now, which is not a lot for a light, but you know, you have to see all of the stuff that this thing does. So let me open it up real quick. So it's a traditional work light. It's got a base. You can set it on things, but the base is magnetic. So if I'm working here and I need a task light, I hit this 3 times, 4 times, and now I have a task light over what I'm working on. Pretty cool, right? Gets better. Hit it one more time. Now you see it flickering there. That's my cameras on set. They're set at a certain frame rate. It's pulse width modulated. Pulse width, say that like 5 times fast. pulse width modulated, so it's not going to use as much battery, but it's still going to give you a pretty good amount of brightness. And then, this is a trick nobody knows. I've been looking at all the reviews of this thing. Hold it down and it's a red light. Your pilot, I've got some flashlights that I take in planes if I'm flying, and they're red for your night vision. If you are somebody that, maybe gets stranded in your car and you need some sort of flashing emergency light to draw attention, this has that capability. That's if you hold the button down. Nobody has been reviewing this has shown that. I thought that was really cool. So you can hit it again and turn it off. Pretty cool. Novella Hub says, Ret Alert. A couple cool things I want to show you again about this. So that was the LED strip there, and it gets super duper bright. I don't want to fry my cameras. But it also has, just right out of the end, look how bright that is. I don't know the exact lumen count on this. We'll go take a look at the Amazon page here in a second, but that's the regular flashlight mode. That's a little bit dimmer on the flashlight mode that this thing has. I could see giving this to kids if you're going out camping and, they need a light to have that. There's, again, kind of an emergency flasher. You can set this on the hood of a car or something, wherever you need it. And again, that super bright, just flat. You can see it's like lighting everything up in here. And this is a pretty bright studio normally. So super cool thing, but that's not all. But wait, there's more. Oh, no, I can't use that. That's trademarked. Sorry about that, guys. But one of the cool things that I really do like about this is it's got a clip, right? So how many times are you working on something and there's like maybe a towel bar or something? Maybe you're doing plumbing in a bathroom. I just happen to have, and I can't even show it to you guys, but here, let me do that. I have a mic stand way up there. So if I'm working on something down here, I can clip that to my mic stand. I'm just going to show you guys how bad my ceiling is here. There is my little mic and top-down rig for cameras, and that hooks over it. So $17.99 for this device. And again, there is more on this. So we already talked about the fact that it's magnetic, so it can snap on anywhere you need it. But how many times have you gone somewhere and the cell phone is blinking? Let me turn all this off. Low battery, right? This thing is also a portable battery pack. Now, we'll go check the exact lumens in here, but I want to show you how this thing works on the side camera. Not only can you charge it through these ports on the side, so I've been turning it on and off with just a simple power button. It has two ports. One of them is USB-C for charging, which they include a pretty short little charging cable, but it's got a USB-A side. Now, if you put this in the USB-A side and you plug your cell phone into the USB-C, or if you've got an iPhone and you want to go out the USB-A to a lightning connector, this will charge your phone. Now, I don't know how many charges you're going to get, probably one or two, but this is a cool backup feature. So not only do you have this really cool work light, which you're going to need for doing some of the stuff we're talking about later, but you also have a really, really cool power pack. And then when you want to charge it, this thing is rechargeable. So if you do put it in your car, RV, whatever, you don't have to worry about replacing batteries in it. It is rechargeable. You plug this into a wall socket anywhere. I'm just plugging it into my wall. I have permanent sockets here. And there's a little tiny red light on. That could be brighter. It's that little tiny guy right there. That's showing that it's charging. So it comes with that USB-C cable for charging. I thought this was cool. I wanted to kick the show off with something cool, something neat, something under 20 bucks. Let's pull it up on the Amazon show page. And that's what I want to show you guys. If you are wondering about how to get to any of the products here, let me put away my stream key so nobody starts streaming on top of us over on Amazon. That could be a little awkward. Let me go there, and I'm going to pull up our Amazon show page. So if you're ever wondering how to see the products that I've listed on the show, how to see products on a previous show, you just have to visit the URL, which is scrolling by that really handsome guy right there. He is amazon.com/shop/thenetguy. He has all of the cool stuff. So that is where the store is, and that is where all of the idea lists are and my live streams. If you go to idea lists here, you're going to have different ones. Now, my idea list for this show has 8 items in it. I'm only going to show you 7 today, maybe 6. But if you come through here, this is the Volrex that we're talking about. Let's go take a look at what the capacities are, because I don't have those up. Looks like a couple things I wanted to point out. 1200 lumens is what they're saying here. 360-degree rotating head, which I just showed you as well. So you can move that all the way around however you need. Magnetic base, working underneath the hood of a car. you know, that works out really well too. And 2600 milliamp hour 18650 lithium ion battery. So that is going to be a 10-watt portable work light for all day use. It is IPX4 rated. So there's a drop rating, and then there's waterproofing, there's dust, and all those different ratings. So IPX4. So it's not going to be completely waterproof in this one. I'd have to go look that up to see the exact rating. If somebody's in the chat and wants to look up what IPX4 is, so X just means it's not whatever that rating is, and then the 4. I believe the second one is the dust intrusion, and the last one is the water, because I see a lot of that in earbuds. But really cool tool. I think this is going to be awesome to use. Let's see if they got any better pictures that I can show you of it here. There's the different modes. And like I said, I didn't buy this one. My friend got it, and he is total construction guy. He loves working on things and house remodels and whatnot. And he sent it to me. He's like, you got to have this thing. Just a gift. It's really, really cool. I was happy about it. I've been using it, so I wanted to share it with you guys. There's the different modes. There's the fact that it can charge up your phone. So it's got the USB-C input and the USB regular A output. It's got 2600 milliamp hour battery. So compared to like the Wise car power pack, that's 10,000 milliamp, it's about a quarter the size. So not designed to be used over and over and over for your device like that, but in a pinch, really, really awesome. So like that product already. And here we go. Suitable for humid conditions. Yeah, I thought IPX4 was a splash or two. Water resistant is what they're saying. Andrew Preston, thank you so much in the chat for helping us out there. And so yeah, it's not going to be completely waterproof. And then there's that cool, convenient hanging clip that they have here. So gotta like that. Cool product to start us out. If you guys have any more questions, let me know in the chat. I'm going to put that up there for now, and we're going to go on to the next product here. And let me pull that up over here. This one was actually sent to me by the brand. Obviously, I want to disclose that all to you. If I get a product for free or doing a giveaway, that is awesome. I love it when they do that because it gives me the opportunity to show you more products. I'm doing 52 of these shows this year, maybe more. And if I have to buy 6 products times 52 times, let's say they're $30 each, you can do the math. It gets expensive really quickly. That company that provided this, the next product up on the show, is from Astro AI. And Astro AI has provided this. It's a digital multimeter. Multimeters have not progressed really in a long time. You know, the standard Fluke ones. If you go to Fluke, you can spend hundreds of dollars. This is my Fluke 112, Fluke 87 I got over there in the shop thing, and this thing's beat up. I'll just show you. You know, this thing, you know, it's got dirt and stuff all over it. The backside, there's a thing of chewing gum in there. This is a mystery, and a couple of people I talked to may have saw this. Why do you think I have a chewing gum foil wrapper in the back of my Fluke multimeter? People that are in the know what I'm talking about on this one. But yeah, that's what I have here. Is my Fluke multimeter. This one is tried and true, and I've beat this thing up a bunch. But it's not super easy to use. You know, if you're outside or you're in a dark space, the backlight is old school. It's got just a real dim backlight. Astro AI said, hey, do you want to check out some of our cool products? And I said, yeah, actually, that power bank you've got is really cool. They have a clamp meter if you're doing some energy monitoring, which we're talking about here soon. And they said, well, what about our multimeter? And I talked to a couple of friends of mine who actually have Astro AI products already. One's got the other digital multimeter. And I said, what do you think about this thing? And they said, hey, let's check it out. So I do a lot of electronics here. Now, what you see is a studio, but it's also where I do work. If I got to repair cell phones, I could pull you out 20 broken cell phone screens. And I don't know why I keep the old ones, but you know, I've got that. This is the multimeter right here. This is the Astro AI, and it is kind of like a smartphone when it comes to multimeters. I'll put it up here on the side camera so you can see it a little better. Oh, it's going to reflect a little bit today. So there it is. You know, it's got a gloss surface. I've taken off the cover, but I'm going to turn it on real quick and you guys can see what's going on here. Oh, got to actually hold it on. There we go. There, it pops up. Now, it has LCD segments, but this thing's super bright. If you guys check it out here, it won't glare as much, hopefully. But yeah, there it is. So there's the auto-ranging multimeter, and you can see it's moving around. And auto-ranging multimeters are not new, but the fact that this thing has such a cool screen. Let me check it on the other camera here, sorry. There we go. So you can see how clear that screen is. I look at my other one and it's only two colors. It's LCD, liquid crystal. This one is color, and then it's auto ranging. Other cool features that it has on the side, I can turn that on and off. Auto power off, that little light coming on and off there. That's the auto power off. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten cheaper multimeters and I forget to turn them off, the analog ones, and they're gone. You lose a 9-volt battery or whatever they were charged by. So that's one of the things that I dislike about normal multimeters. This thing's also super thin, remember? So now you're looking, if I got to carry something around all day, if I want to put it in my back pocket, super, super skinny. Another thing I've shown you guys here on the show previously when doing AC wiring or doing any sort of high voltage is a non-contact voltmeter. This thing actually has an NCV built in. If you're just joining, this is John, the Net Guy. We're doing tech on Tuesday on Wednesday. I know, sorry, we were delayed a day, but we're going to get through it. And I'm showing you guys right now the Astro AI. This is their digital multimeter, and I'm going to pull this thing up. They're calling it a smart digital multimeter, and when you buy it, it actually comes with the probes that you need. So for basic stuff, I think they're a category 4, and if you take the covers off the leads, they go down in rating, but still excellent multimeter. But it has so much hidden potential inside this thing. So I showed you guys, again, non-contact voltage. So if I need to go do some work on this, actually, you know what? Let's do it up here. I need to do some work on this, but I don't know if it's powered on. Check this out. Hopefully you guys can hear that. This is a multimeter with an NCV probe built into the top. So hopefully I can do that. Yeah, there it goes. So you can see the light changes red. It's making an audio noise. And I'll show you another trick here. This is neat. If I can do this. There it goes. Low. So it's got L and then there's a high. So it's got different ranges there. So that's the non-contact volt. NCU it looks like, but that's actually meaning V here. But that's non-contact that's built into it. So again, that's another standard thing that you would carry in your pocket. You don't have to carry now. Now if you put the probes on it, this is where you can start to do some cool stuff. Can it measure frequency in Hertz is a question I got on the Amazon chat from John, and you know what? It absolutely can. This thing is slick, I'm telling you. It also can measure with the probe. So there's a way that you can actually measure with the NCV on the probe, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go back over here, and I'm just going to go into the smart auto ranging feature that it's got. So there's the auto, and when you see the word smart in that corner, that means, see how it's moving between all those different ranges? It's going through volts, ohms, and continuity checker. That's the first 3 that you got there. So voltage, we're going to go back over here. You know what? Let me just bring this out. I want to show you guys how to use this thing. And I'm going to show you how I check for dead batteries real easy. You don't need any fancy battery stuff. Sorry, I'm like zooming in on myself here. Okay, so we're just going to use this. My old status lights. I've had this thing so long, the status lights have worn off on it. I think the LED's burnt out. But tell you what, this thing is actually on. So if you were looking at that to see if it was on, it actually is. Let me bring this up here so you can see it. Hopefully conveniently here. I'm bringing it over on this side because I'm going to bring myself on that side. So you can kind of see what I'm doing over here. So I'm going to take the probe covers off because it's not going to fit inside those holes, but I'm going to be able to show you how I'm not going to change it to AC. So it's going to be on regular here, and I'm going to go that way. Now it automatically picked AC. It's showing me the Hertz, which is what you were asking for, John, there. And it's showing me the voltage real time here. So you're seeing it, the actual voltage in Hertz in there. Now if I turn the switch off, you can see it go to nothing. And it's just kind of it's measuring some resistance across the contact. So it's in the off position. It's giving you some ohms of internal resistance that this thing has when the switch is off. So kind of a cool feature there. Other things would be continuity. So if I touch these together, you hear that beeping sound. Just want you to hear that. That means that that wire is connected. So I use this so many times. You got a spool of speaker wire or something. You want to see if there's a short in it or something. You can definitely do that. If you've got a long run of wire, or you've got a plug and you want to know which side is hot or not, touch one side of it, touch the other side, and you're checking for continuity. Basically, continuity is 0 ohm resistance or close to it, right? So very, very cool feature that this thing has. And those are all just the basic smart functions. Now, I don't know if you look on here, it does have similar things on the Fluke. And again, I feel like I'm pulling out the old rotary telephone when I do this. So this is my Fluke, and you can see the screen on the Fluke, and you can see the screen on this. If you had to measure, we'll put that one in there. If you had to measure voltage, which screen would you rather look? Now, my Fluke can actually measure AC Hertz. I can bring it over the Hertz range, and maybe, again, it's hard to see upside down here, but yeah, it's hard to do some of these kind of things, and this is all automatic with the smart Astro AI. So Fluke is a very well-known company. They're local, and they're not a bad product. There are a lot of professionals trust and use them, but I've been showing this off everywhere I go, and people are super amazed by it. Other cool things about it, I'm just going to show you the probe covers. If you are working in an area with higher voltages, or a risk that you might cross these, right? So if you're working on a board and you're just trying to check for continuity or logic, so you can use these covers, and then you're not going to hit the probes on something, or maybe go across two contacts. So that's the probe covers they include with it, which is one cool aspect of it. Let me show you a couple other things. So if I wanted to check diodes, I could do that. I repaired a charger for my boat. It was a battery charger that was on board. It was like a 40 amp 3 battery charger. And it's super expensive charger, and I couldn't find anything wrong except there was some discoloration on a diode. So I pulled that out. I used a meter and was able to find that. So that's where a diode checker would come in. Capacitance, this is real common in smart TVs and TVs in general, LCD flat panels. The capacitors will pop. They'll lose their capacitance, and you can check them with this meter, which is awesome. You can get into millivolts of AC. There's if you just want the Hertz. Now, so what's cool about this too is you can actually do different ranges and other things. You'll notice what's happening down here when I switch to that. It was showing out which probe entry I should use. So it's lighting up the correct probes. Now, on my Fluke one, this is here. My Fluke one does not have that. It has some drawing on the bottom. You have to remember when you're swapping these which one to plug them into. There's no light to tell you like on this one. And what's cool about that, let's see if I want to double check the chat here to see if anybody got the answer in the chat right. Why I carry in the back of my Fluke a chewing gum wrapper. And it's because I always forget the leads, and when I put it in for amperage to check the draw on something, it will blow the fuse, and I don't have fuses when I'm on the road. So I end up having to do something worse, which is wrap the fuse in some aluminum foil and keep on going and work the rest of the day. So that's the emergency one I keep in here. I did take this thing apart, and it is actually really well built inside. I'm going to see if I can pull up some pictures for you real quick as well. I sent myself some pictures of this thing in the field getting used. And there's some cool stuff I want to show with you, especially if you're going to do any work with some of the home energy monitoring we're going to show coming up here. You're going to want to use this thing. So sorry the pictures are not in order, but here is what you get out of the packaging. I took that picture right when I opened it up. I said, oh man, I've got to put the batteries in. I thought, geez, that's kind of sad that they didn't give me the batteries right away, but actually that's the second set of batteries they give you. So even though this thing already has an auto power off capability, they give you a second set of batteries just to back that up another time for you. So really appreciative of that. It has all the probes and everything nicely wrapped. Let me go through here. This is going to be something coming up. I'm going to show you all of the the usage of my electricity in the house, but I just want to show you this real quick too. This is the construction on the inside. Really, really well built construction on the Astro AI here. Those are the two replaceable fuses. If you do mess up the contacts here and you do put things in the wrong order, even though it has a light and has all these other reminders, that's what it's going to show you. There's also, when I've used it, now we actually had an issue with some of our smart lighting, and what turned out to be it was the CASA switch itself had lost Wi-Fi and it wasn't turning on and off even manually. I had to reset the switch to factory, but I wanted to verify that it was putting out power on the correct leads. And so I just used this thing one-handed, had the probes in my hand behind it, and was able to touch the ground here. You can see, and so as the AC Hertz in the phase, I took it outside. Now this is probably the Achilles heel of all multimeters. I wish I'd have done this with the Fluke as well, but I wanted to show you guys here what it looks like when you're using it on the outside in the sun. This was the hardest angle. It's when I got the sun directly on it that I was able to see this not working the way I wanted. And so, that's when it gets that glare across it. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Yeah, I got that glare across it. I couldn't see the numbers. And this is the Astro AI digital multimeter we're checking out right now. So that is the one Achilles heel of it, is it doesn't necessarily have really good direct sunlight. Now, if you're offset a little bit, not a problem at all. You can still read it. I had 1.14 volts on my lawnmower battery, so you guys can tell how low that is. So that is the Astro AI digital multimeter. I'm going to show you a couple more features that it has real quick. I'm going to bring you guys back out here. A couple quick things. If I take these probes out, I'm going to use some of the other stuff that it comes with, show you some cool features. Now, inside of this, to swap to the next one, I just hit the button. I'm going to bring the camera up over here. And this is on, that setting, hopefully you guys can see it, is CF. So that's Fahrenheit, it's 64 in here, and that's just the air blowing off my AC. And 17 centigrade Celsius. So if I take this probe, this is a K-type probe, this has a very, very, very sensitive thermocouple on it. And a thermocouple is just basically a resistor. That little tiny thing right on the end there is a thermal probe. So if you're working on an AC system in a car, you're working on a fridge, you're working on anything where you need to actually see exact heat amounts, it's going to go ahead and plug into the common here, and then it's going to plug into this side. It blinked that when I went over to that mode, but I've taken it away. Now this is a super duper sensitive. Now watch how this, so it's 58 right now. If I just put my fingers on it, see how its temperature is rising up on that meter? Now I can blow on it. My breath was 89 degrees there. So you can see there how quickly this thing works. It's very, very cool capability that it has. And if you're working, like I said, on a fridge, maybe you're working on a compressor or doing some HVAC work, these things are really valuable. You just want to have a very hyper accurate temperature measurement. That's what it's got capability for as well. I go to the next one here. This is the non-contact. That's the one I was telling you about earlier and showing you. So again, you don't have to carry another one of those in your pocket as well. And then you can get over here to the yellow ones. Now it's going to flash lead, and it's going to tell you which leads to plug in. And if I hit it again, it's going to show me the outer ones to plug in. And that's for a non-contact voltmeter. That's the important thing. For an amp meter, for something that's going to give you the power draw on a DC circuit here, you can plug that in here and you can see how many amps it's drawing, which is pretty valuable. Really common if you have the leads wrong to blow that fuse inside. So that's why they have the information about the fuse. So this is the product from Astro AI. This was very useful if you're doing the next project, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. Let's pull up the Amazon page, make sure I showed you everything about it though. So this is the Amazon page. It is available right now for $40.99. It looks like there is an extra 5% coupon right now as well. So that's a pretty good value. If you go look at a comparable meter from Fluke or one of these other companies, it is expensive. Meters are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. And so this one is pretty good value, I would say. I've shown this to a couple people, and with that 5% off, even better value. So, I could definitely see using this, as a good bench multimeter. The one complaint I did have about it, and I've already sent them back to them, is with the Fluke body, you have some cable holders. You can hold your leads and do some things like that. And it does have a kickstand capability. So that would be another nice thing. I didn't even yet show you another feature. Like, again, this thing has so much stuff, which is it does have a built-in work light on it. Now, it's not very bright at all. That's one of the things. So you can see it's just one single LED on the work light. Really easy to turn on and off though. So you've got it right there on the side. There you go. Oh, Wimo is here. Hey bro, you're my favorite YouTuber, he says. Well, yes I am, but I'm on Amazon Live too, so you gotta share the wealth. Thanks for joining, buddy. So again, we're taking the look at the Astro AI. This is the smart digital multimeter. Again, pocket size, so I can turn it off here. If I didn't turn it off, it has an auto power off, and I can literally slip this in my front pocket, back pocket. It's just a little bit bigger than a cell phone, but tons of tech in this. 2 sets of batteries, a thermocouple, which is not included in a Fluke multimeter. You got to buy those. And my Fluke does not do thermals, so I can't even do that. Has a pretty good user manual included with it as well. I was actually surprised at the quality of the writing in it, which you normally don't see. So this tells you about all of the leads, all of the modes. If you have a parasitic draw in your car, if your car is constantly losing battery power, this walks you through how to do that. I was just like amazed because you never see that kind of information in a manual. And you can do that by pulling fuses and putting the meter in, and it'll show you how much the draw is on that fuse. A pretty cool feature, up to 10 amps on those fuses. So pretty well described, tells you what to set here and how the diode testing works and everything. So the ranges on this, I was surprised. I went to the back and looked for the range on, not AC current, but I wanted the range on temperature probe. Sorry. Let me pull that up real quick. And the range is insane. So negative 40 Celsius to 0, it's going to be accurate within plus or minus 3. 0 to 400, it's within 1%, plus or minus 2. And all the way up to 1,000 Celsius. I don't know if the probe would do it. It does have some, looks like some high temperature lining on it, but very, very high temperature capacity on this too. So really highly sensitive thermometer as well. So you're getting all of that in this cool package. You can then take all of your leads, you know, and your probes here, and you can put them right back in this. And if you need to take it with you, that's one of the things I like. We'll put the sharp ends down. So I've got the manual tucked in behind it too. So if you're not an expert at electronics, not everybody is, you know, you want to keep this in your tool bag somewhere, but you need to go refer something in there. Maybe you want to just look at how the settings work. You can do that. It all fits inside this little bag from Astro AI. So very cool product from them. Very happy to have it on the show. Again, they sent this out for free, but they're getting a fair and honest review. I told you the things that I don't like about it. Needs maybe a stand would be really cool to have with it. I could 3D print my own if I really want one. And in direct sunlight, it's a little bit washed out. But again, in a dark room or even a currently bright studio, you saw how nice that screen is compared to even the Fluke. So that's from Astro AI. That is our second product. We're going to get moving right along here because we've got some stuff that I got to show you next that's really cool. And I'm going to go through quickly the alternative that you had here. And I'm going to bring it up on Amazon as well, which if you wanted to do energy monitoring in your home to see how much something was using back in the old day, there was very few options that you had. One of the options was this meter right here. And this is called a kilowatt. So this kilowatt meter, kind of an interesting name, goes into an outlet just like this. And it's going to do similar readings that the multimeter did, but it's going to do them in line because it has a plug as well. Pretty thick, heavy body here too. You can go through the Hertz. You were asking about that earlier, John. So it's got Hertz. You can go to voltage, but where it starts to shine is when you put a draw on it. So this is a light that I'm going to use during my testing here today. And I'm going to put that into this plug. And then I'm going to turn the light on. Okay, so we have this light on, and you can see it over here shining. It is a LED light. And so here it's got the same voltage, but if I go to watts, you can see I'm burning 6 watts. And if you plug this in, it'll work all the way up to a space heater or things like that. It'll give you a real-time view of how many watts the item is drawing in power. Now, if you're into tech stuff and you want to do volt amps, VA, that's another factor multiplier. If you want to see the power factor, that was actually one interesting thing this has. If you're using computer systems, they're not 100% efficient and their power factor doesn't use the actual phase. So this works out really well for doing a single item power monitoring. But you got to go out and read it every time. So if you've got this out in your shed, you know, you're going to have to go out to your shed and look at the meter and you can't see exactly what it is. So I'm going to show you a better tool in the future here. This is the old way to do it. It's available right now on Amazon for $32.49. I'm going to bring that up here on the side screen. So there it is in my idea list. If you go here, great reviews on this product, by the way. It's 4.6 rated out of 5, and it's because this has been the mainstay of all energy monitoring previous to this. The kilowatt was where it's at. I use this as a computer tech to see how much draw at the peak load something is using, so I can tell either if there's a problem or if I need to have a bigger power supply. I can see that. Other cool things I'm going to show you here. So that was an LED light. I've actually got another bulb here. So we were pulling 6 watts, right? This is a 25 watt incandescent. I'm going to put it in here. And then I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to plug this in. Bring myself back. There we go. Now this is actually going to use more power, and it's not going to use it as efficiently, hopefully. So let's go back over here. Some of that power is being turned into heat. So it's pulling 21 watts, even though it's a 25 watt rated bulb. What's funny is it's not putting out nearly as much power. Notice how you can actually see the bulb, because a lot of that energy is turned into heat. So you can see how much power this thing's drawing, what the power factor is, what the watts are there, and what the volt amps are. So you can see 21, and this will drop down to 20 occasionally. So, you know, pretty useful. You can also see amp draw, so that's current draw. So this is number of amps. You'd have to do the math there to do, you know, amps, volts to equal the wattage, but it does check out. And then you can go back here. Other cool things about this one, as long as it's plugged in and you go to this button over here, you can actually have it meter over time. So it's been running for 3 minutes and it's used a total of 0.00. Now, if I let this run for an hour, it's going to use 0.021, kilowatt hours, because it's using 21 watts for an hour. So that's how all these meters work. Not going to tell you how much it's using in dollars. You're not going to see if there's waste here, really. But one of the next products that we're going to show is, so this was the old way to do it. I wanted to show this product because for some people, this might be good enough. So again, I'm just going to unplug it so you can see that was actually plugged in and reading live. This is the Kilowatt P3, very common. The next product, I got to move some things around and get ready for because it is just so cool. And I wanted to show you what I got for my house, and it's a huge upgrade. And that is a whole home energy monitoring system. So this whole home energy monitoring system from Emporia, the box here is empty, sorry, it's installed, but it comes in a box like this. And let me pull this product up. Sorry if I missed it, but does it have a log function, max power over time? You know, that's a great question on the P3. I do not know if it has a max power over time. I don't think it does, but the next product I'm going to show you does. So that's a great segue. Thanks, John, for asking that. So let me pull this up, and this is the energy monitoring solution from Emporia. Now, I had an interview last Tuesday. I interviewed the CEO of Emporia, Sean McLaughlin. Really nice guy. I wish I could have cut some scenes here for this live for you guys, because I literally asked him the question. I said, how are you doing this for $149? And what they do is they send you out a device in here. It has 16 current transformers that will check how much current is going out of your electrical system. Now, why is that important? Well, in my home, like I said earlier in the show, we had a $500 energy bill. We had used 5,000 kilowatt hours in a month, which is an enormous amount of power. It's enough to power 3 houses. And then I got a partially hybrid electric car, which plugs in, so plug-in hybrid. And I thought, oh my gosh, now my bill's going to be even bigger. What's going on? We just installed some new stuff, and that was a really interesting thing. So I said, I got to figure this out. Now, if you had a water leak in your house, you can hear it running. If you have a power drain somewhere in your house, you don't hear it. And so you need a solution like this. Now, I can't go in and put a kilowatt on every single thing and check it. But if you go with the Emporia, it gives you unprecedented visibility to your whole house. Now, what does that look like? I'm going to pull up the app here because I think it's important for you guys to see this. The Emporia Energy app will give you day, month, week, year, a view of your energy usage in your house. So this was today. This is real time today, how much my house is used. Super duper easy to install product. And that balance number you see at the bottom is the amount of energy that it wasn't able to trap, like the circuit that may not be connected up. But with 16 probes that I put in my circuit breaker, my panel, I'm able to see that I've used 71 kilowatt hours today. Well, where did that go? This is ordered here. Not on my other phone, it's set up properly. This one is my demo phone, so it's not ordering it the same way I would. But I can see my multi-zone AC systems with cooling off my office and everything. It used 14 kilowatts or 20% of that, right? My heat and shop AC, that's part of this, and a workshop that I have was using some. My EV charger used 9% of the energy from today. Well, let's go look at the week. Well, you hit week, and now you can see those numbers rearrange, and it used 12.6 for the week. Well, we're early in the week, so I can go through back and forth. What's cool is if I say, what has that EV charger been using? This is the kilowatts per day going backwards. So I had separated my EV circuit just because I wanted to see how much this plug-in car got. And I put this system in on the 21st, and then I banged pots and pans, or 19th it looks like. And then I banged pots and pans around and told everybody I do about it. So this thing will give you energy history. Now what's cool about this though, it's not just a historical device. It is real time. So when I say that, I can go out here, I can look at, to the minute what my usage has been. So I'm using 6 kilowatt hours of use right now. Now, what's 6 kilowatt hours? It's 6,100 watts. What's a watt? Watt is a unit of measure, but you can take a hairdryer, for example. It says it's 1,500 watts. I like to use that one. I have the equivalent of about 4 hairdryers running right now. Well, where's that all going? So I can go down here and I can look, well, my office is using 400 watts of that. The master bathroom, actually, this is kind of interesting. Do you see that cycling on and off? This is by the minute now, right? That's our heated floors in our master bathroom. They're using an amount of current. If I come back here, they're using about 300 watts, and you can see it cycles on and off all throughout the day. So if I wanted to save energy, I could put those on a timer because we're not in the master bathroom. So that's something we can pick up. Now, if I go back to hour, you can see hour usage. If I go by day, now this is just for that circuit, right? Well, some people don't speak watts, right? So they've done a really cool thing where you can go to the unit of measure here, and not only do you have the watts, but you have the amps, gallons of gas if you were having to generate this on a generator, the carbon footprint of all of these, the number of trees that would have to be cut down to make this energy. It is enormous. But if you go to dollars, now it's coming down to how much is that room costing me per day. So leaving that heated floor on is costing me quite a bit of money. Now let's take a look here. I don't know which circuit I have the office here on, because I was going to pull up something. I'm trying to think if I still have that demo available. So if I go to the office here, I go down to the second. Now this may not work. I may have to hunt around a little bit, but it's so impressive. I just want to show it to you. This is that 20 watt load that we had, right? Now, it was 21 watts. Let's go here, and I'm going to go back to unit of measure, and we're going to see if we can get this thing and catch it. So this is real time, and it all depends on which circuit this comes from. So I'm going to plug that in, and we'll see if that one was it. So that was 400. Okay, did you guys see that jump there? So it's going to take a little while to draw it, but that's actually monitoring that 25 watt load that it just bumped up. And that was probably us earlier playing with it back there a few minutes back. So that's the load. Now I'm going to undo that load. So 430 roughly, remember? And we're going to see it's a few seconds delayed, but you see that drop out down to about 408. So about 20, 30 watts. It's fluctuating a little bit because I got a lot of computer systems in here. So pretty amazing what you can do here with this thing. So it is monitoring constantly all of the energy use in your house. Now it has alerting capabilities. I don't have that shown here, but what I did is I set up my EV charger because my app doesn't work with my car anymore. They discontinued it and a bunch of other stuff. So I want to see when the charger is working and not working. So I can go back to that EV charger that I have. And what I do is I look basically by the minute. My wife came home a little while ago and she plugged the car back in. And that's the power draw of my car when it's charging. So it's using 3,300 watts. We said a hairdryer was 1,500. So it's about 2 hairdryers worth of power to charge the car. And that's the draw. And then as it gets closer to the max charge, it drops out. So really cool. Well, how much does my electric vehicle take to charge up, right? That's always a great question. I can get about 20 miles on the EV. Let me go back out here to a different number. So I can get about 20 miles on it. And if I go back over here for the hour, there was 32 cents, 3 cents, and I have to count this one because I didn't recharge it after that last one, and 14 cents. So it's about 60, 70 cents a charge, right? So I can actually see how much my EV is using, and my total usage for April right now, we're on the 13th of April, has been $8.17 for that circuit. That's how cool this thing is. Now, I can tell you when we plug this thing in, the first thing that came to me right away was our dryer. And I ran to my wife as soon as I got this plugged in, and I said, what's going on? I was like, are you drying clothes? Because the load on this thing when it was drying clothes was 5,600 watts. It was almost what the entire house is using right now in just the dryer. We've got some super high efficiency water heat. Now this was interesting because I know I used about 20 kilowatt hours yesterday. So she was sick. Actually, I'm trying to think. That's the 12th. Yeah. So that was yesterday. So she was sick, was getting better. This was the day that all of the laundry had to get caught up because you notice we didn't do it the day before. But this is, the dryer loads that we ran $2 that day. Now I can go this out to a week. So you can look at it by week. That was an $8 week of drying clothes. And you can look at it by month. So in 10 days last month, I used $8. In 13 days this month, I used $14 of energy drying clothes. The first thing we did is we went out to one of those deal sites and we picked up a gas washer and dryer set, which is newer than what we had, and it's already helped us save energy. I do want to show you guys a couple cool things that I was able to do with this when I installed it, and I'm just going to show you real quick how quickly we dropped our energy usage. So you can see this graph here to there. This was in March, and that is literally how fast we dropped our energy usage. We went from a peak the day after I installed this, and I wanted to get a full month of information to really catalog the experience and get a baseline, but I couldn't stand it. I was seeing waste and energy that was going out in the form of heaters that were on in places that we didn't know about, a lot of things, and so I had to do something about it. And so that's where this thing's already helped me save at least 30% on my energy bill right now. And I found some, like I said, some radiant heaters that were on that didn't need to be. And there was a couple cool things that you would kind of suspect, but it wasn't what it was. And I'll get to that here in a little bit. But I want to show you real quick here some of the other pictures. This is the line for my EV that goes out there. So it's a 20 amp circuit that's run for my EV. This is the installation process and what you get with this. So, it comes nice and neatly boxed here. So that's the Emporia system. And each one has a purpose here. So on the left side, on the far left that you're seeing there, that is the sensor that goes inside your circuit panel. So now I asked him, I said, do most people self-install this, or is just the net guy the guy that does the self-installs? And he says, actually, we recommend an electrician, but the cost of the unit is $149 right now on Amazon. They cannot be making money at this, I tell you. And they have free and open data, so you can download all of your data, which is ridiculously cool. So if you want to write your own program, if you want to integrate with a third party, they're talking about integrating with Casa and a bunch of other brands to just really democratize your energy usage information. But if you want to do that, you can install one of these these current sensing devices in here that shows how much you're using, and then you can start making changes in your life. It's really, really awesome. If you have to pay $125 or $150, it shouldn't take a qualified electrician more than an hour, because I did it in 30 minutes. So if an unqualified electrician can do it in 30 minutes, your qualified electrician should better be able to do it in an hour. It's not too bad. There's the app that you have to install. This is my power panel, and it looks kind of daunting. This is it with the cover off. I'll show you it with the cover back on. And this was actually just recently upgraded. So sorry, just going to zoom around in here a little bit and make everybody motion sick. But up and down that power panel are circuit breakers that you would have in your normal house. And so what this thing does is it clips over the lines. It's not clipping into the lines. You don't have to do any cutting. I did see a special guest just showed up in the chat.
G'day, mates.
Welcome, everybody. Kren has showed up here. It is like tomorrow over there in Aussie land. But I was just talking about the Emporia Energy View 2 system. This View 2 system lets you see all of the energy usage in your house. It's already helped me find waste and drains. One of the guys on my Discord that I was hanging out with, he's got the same system. He loved it. I was asking about it, and we were nerding out. And he said that the other day he got an alert because his septic circuit stopped working. So he was about to have a big ugly mess, but his septic pump went down, and he wouldn't have known about it until something else happened. But he was able to see it in this. So that's another cool thing about the View. I'm able to use this so I know how much my EV is using. I know when it turns on, when it turns off. And I'll talk about some of the cool stuff they're doing with their EV charger coming up. So what do you have to do to install this? Next question. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here so you can see. So in a standard electrical panel, in mine, the power comes in at the top. It can come in top, bottom, anywhere really. But it's going to have these 3 legs. So there's this top one here. There's the other one, and then there is the neutral. Now, I've shown you guys this before. We've talked about smart switches and wiring, but those are the 3 things coming from your telephone pole or underground to your house, like in my case. Now, those get split across because we got split phase AC, and these current transformers go across the wires. They don't actually clip the wires, they just clip over the wires, which is really cool. So these are the current transformers. So you've got the large ones up here, which go around the mains. That's what they call those. And then you have these ones that clip around the loads. So really easy to install. There's a kind of a close-up of the circuit breakers that I have. I have a whole home surge strip there, surge breaker. And then, you know, be prepared if you're going to install this, and I don't recommend installing it yourself. Get a qualified electrician. Obviously, I have to give all the safety stuff from Amazon, and your jurisdiction may require a qualified electrician to install this. But even if you do, it is very affordable. But you may want to use something like the very first product I showed on the show here. So on the left side here, I have a light that's shining onto my power panel, and I have my power turned off. So all the stuff past those main leads coming in is turned off by that switch up at the top. So again, turned all that off. Now, this looks kind of like a mess. This is how you install the Emporia Energy View 2 system. They clip over, and I had my app out, and I was able to watch it because my Wi-Fi is all on backup power and everything. So I was able to actually watch it as I used it, and as I connected these things to make sure that they were sensing and reading. Now, it does look kind of like a mess, and one of the things when I had my power panel upgraded, as I said, I wanted that look. I wanted it to look very nice and clean. My old one wasn't even close to that. We had to do some extension up there, but so there's what it looked like inside of my power panel, but I did clean it up. Now, here's what I was telling you immediately about the power usage. So there's my office that I was able to see when I turned things on there. What I did to clean this up is I just took a bunch of zip ties, and I didn't link to zip ties because you guys can see that. But these things, they take up a bit of room, but there was no other way. When I talked to the CEO of this, I said, it's amazing what you guys have come up with that is, in my case, it was user installable, and it was a no-brainer. Super easy install. The way that they clip on, again, they don't cut any of the wires here. And if you don't have a breaker to give it power, it'll actually come up with these 2 little wire nuts that you see here. Those are actually how I gave it power in my system. So it does require a couple breakers either to be open, 15 or 20 amp, or it comes with some pigtails, so you can add it to an existing pair of 15s or 20s that you want. So it has a very small amount of load. There's a little Wi-Fi antenna that comes sticking out of the bottom. That's down here. And again, your qualified electrician. If you're not comfortable doing the stuff or it's in your jurisdiction illegal, I'm not recommending you guys do anything that would get you in trouble or hurt in any way, then have your electrician do the same stuff. You can send them to this video and these pictures. I'm going to have a longer video out on this one soon. So you can see I've put those transformers up top, and the way that it figures out the energy that it's not monitoring or that it missed, or maybe you have a circuit that you don't really want to monitor because it's not used very often, maybe it's an outbuilding or something that never gets used, you can save on the transformers by moving it to a different circuit. And I ended up having to do that. If you have a 240 volt circuit, like a dryer, like I have, you only have to tap one side of it. If you have a sub panel that's 240 and 120, you have to tap both of the hot leads on it, and I'll tell you why later. So that was how you set that up, and there's what it looks like with the panel back on. It's just got, the only way you can tell I have energy monitoring in my whole house is this little tiny stubby antenna. Now, you don't have to tear your walls up. Normally you won't have to do anything like I have here, and it's only because we've upgraded recently. But, you know, you can do all of this from just inside the panel, and that's going to give you that ability to see the energy. Actually, let me go back here. I want to show you this picture. So it does look good, and I'll be replacing all the drywall here shortly so that it'll look all nice and pretty. And then you immediately get that information back. Now, this is a screen grab from my other phone. I was able to sort things by usage. Like I said, the clothes dryer is really the product that you use the most. If you have any questions, this is John the Net Guy, by the way, and Mohammed Shabir. Thank you so much for the follow. This is Tech on Tuesday on Wednesday this week, and we are taking a look at the Emporia View 2. I don't know how they sell this thing, honestly, for so cheap. You can see here I paid for it full tilt, and I've been super happy with this. It goes simply into your electrical panel, and it gives you that unprecedented visibility into the stuff that we normally don't see. You normally can't tell when you have a parasitic draw, when you have a load that you forgot about. Like I told you guys earlier in the show, if you left the faucet running, and my kids have left the outdoor faucet going all night, you know that right away. You can hear it, you can see the puddle. When you have a heater that's left on in a building outside, you don't get to see that. So this is awesome. This is super duper awesome. I really do, appreciate the company for, giving me some time to talk to Sean McLaughlin about this. And like I said, I'm going to do a longer video on this, so you'll see a little bit more about it and talk about our interview. They actually had some other cool things that they're doing with their app. The app is free, and the meters, the stuff that I showed you, is all free to use. You can download all of your data if you want. What they're looking at is the ability to control. That's their next thing, is the ability to control power, and working on a system that lets you turn the power on and off to things that are voluntary. Maybe, a filter has to run for your pond, but it only has to run a few hours a day. Maybe you run the filter at night using this thing automatically, and you save a little bit of money. So there's also some demand load things that they're doing. They also have an EV charger, which I'm going to bring up shortly, because that's the coolest thing coming out of this company, I think, right now. Something that they have a really cool patent on. So that said, this is the Emporia Energy View 2 system, but I'm going to tell you something about it that was kind of interesting. So after I got this in here, I said, one of the things that I just know has to be using all the energies, not these older light bulbs. I said, this really old fridge that we have, the other side of this wall is my garage. We have a really old fridge and a really old freezer that we inherited from her grandparents. And I said, that has got to be using all of the power in the house, right? Well, this was how defensible this becomes. So I'm going to pull this up here for you so you can see the split. So I can go down here. Now you notice that I've got more circuits than 16. I've got these other little on-off things, this little down arrow and a plug. And these are the next product I'm going to bring up. How do you like that segue? This is the Emporia. This is going to be their smart outlet. But not only are they a regular switchable outlet, they're an energy monitoring switchable outlet that integrates with the Emporia View system. So you can run this through your standard, home automation system. You can run it through their app. You can do all that stuff. It's a standard smart plug with a button on the side. Let me show you what this looks like up close. So there's the Emporia. This is the only one that I haven't installed, right? And so I can take this plug here and let's just set it up and I'll show you what this does. We'll do it live in the app. So I plug it into an outlet. Now, let's say I had a load like that fridge that I was incorrectly thinking was going to be using all my power here, and I wanted to monitor it, right? Well, I can only see at the circuit level, but what they've done here with these, now these are available for $29.99. You could buy these without the central system. You don't have to have the system in your power panel to use these, but if you have both, they let you split out the loads within that circuit to see where it's using. So it's all the branch within that branch circuit. You're seeing all of the use. So I'm going to go ahead and add this smart plug here. Let's see here. I've got to do the devices. Go to smart plugs here. I've got garage fridge, garage freezer, shop, UPS, Unraid server. So all of my footage that goes in the Unraid I showed you a couple weeks ago, I was worried that that thing might be using a lot of power. Well, I can see exactly how much power it's using, and I can turn it on and off remotely. I wouldn't recommend turning it off remotely, but let me go ahead and hit add here. I'm going to go to the installation guide. So it's telling me that it's blinking here. Got it. There's the power button. Now this thing's rated for 15 amps. Now there's some disparity between what the box and the labeling says. It said 10 amps continuous, 15 max. Here you can see it has a maximum output of 1800. I've seen it saying more 15 on the later documentation. Don't try to disassemble it. Don't use it below 10 degrees Celsius or above 140, which makes sense. You don't want the solder to melt. And so it's going to say, here we go, plug it in where you have an adequate Wi-Fi signal, which we'll do. There we go. There is my ARC Wi-Fi. And let me see if I can put in a password here. Nope, it is going to show you. So give me 1 second. I'm going to come back out here to the live view. And I'm going to put my password in just because I do not want prying eyes on here seeing it. I'm going to hit next. I'll bring you back down here so you can see this device blinking here. And so there's the device. I'm adding it right now. Actually, I want to give you, sorry, I'll give you a different view. I want to give you this view. So you can see there, blink with quick mode. So let's say it's rapidly. So it's connecting to it now, or it's adding this device. And there we go. The light blinked. So it did find it, I think. Retrieving the smart plug information. So we've got a successful ad here already. I had to put the information in. I had already signed up for Emporia, so there's a couple extra settings here. Just saw the flag in the corner. I think they sent a small flag for the other corner. Hey, Cran, you got it. We need an Aussie flag in here. He says the solder won't melt at 140. Yeah, you never know. I'm just kidding. You know. But no, there's obviously some safety testing that they've done on this. So really, really cool products here. May I ask where you got your background wall tiles? Somebody's asking in Amazon. This is from It's Me, Tyler. It's Me, Tyler. Welcome. Thank you. Those are actually vinyl plank flooring. And I stole that from Jeff from Craft Computing. So now you know. I'm a big thief. But I did ask him before I stole it. I stole that idea. I'm going to put the name of the spark plug in here. It's called Lampy Mick Lamp a Lot. Lamp Lot. There we go. Lampy McLamp a Lot. I think that sounds right. We're going to hit save. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you have a view system, you can either run this standalone if it's on one of the circuits you weren't monitoring, or I can tell it this is actually plugged into the office. I'm going to hit save. Now you remember I was able to see that small 20 watt load, turning it on and off with both the the P3 kilowatt, but I can also see it now through the wall, which we talked about with the office. Now it's going to update the firmware on my plug. This will take a few seconds, but what I'm going to show you is I can actually monitor the individual power usage of a single device with this and turn it on and off remotely with the app if I want to save energy, which is really cool. That's the next generation that they're working on, is that demand peak load capability. And I can see the energy usage over time. And it does a cool thing with the view is it subtracts it out of the circuit breaker that it's on. So you can address this individually. You can see it. So this is the Emporia Energy Monitor. This is their view system. They have it in both 8 and 16 current transformers. Talking to Sean, their CEO, really, really nice small company that just started out a few years back. They're definitely doing an amazing job. He says you can actually stack these. So if you have a panel like mine that's got 30 to 40 spaces or more, you can actually stack these and have 2 sets of these if you need to monitor everything, if you need that capability, and it'll actually integrate in the app. I'm going to go back to the web page here because I want to show you what they've got going here. So firmware just updated, but we'll come back to that here in a second. So just want to again show you how their app works. You can also log in on their website and use it on a desktop computer. So maybe you're not an app person, maybe you want to control things from your desktop, and it works really, really well. So super happy about that. Let me go back to the app here because I just want to show you now that it's all done. I'm going to plug in that light we've got over here. I'm going to let you guys see it. So there's my light. Let's go. Now if I come down here, you can see lamps, make lamp lot. I got to do lampy. I got to change it. I'm going to go to unit measure watts because we know that. Now for the month, it's got no watt consumption here. So you can see that. I can go to the day. It's got no major consumption. I go to the hour, nothing. If I go down to the minute here, you can see that for the minute, it's averaging 2.8. But let's go down to the second. That is 23 watts. So really, really close to what the kilowatt was showing is the energy. Now that 2 watts may be the meter itself, who knows, but I do want to show you our ability to control this on and off. So if I go back out here, You're watching the lamp? It's a smart switch. So you've got a smart switch capability here. Now you have peak demand loading capability, schedules. You've got an ability to throw it up on the home page. So I can go over here and I can turn it on and off. Now, you may want to be able to turn off that home page clicking ability if it's something like your UPS server or your RAID server. So I can turn that on and off. Now you can see that it's underneath the office circuit, right? So I'm turning it on and off. Well, what it did, I've been turning it on and off and on and off. If I go into the office circuit, now it's showing on here, but the total consumption of the office circuit is one thing, but it actually will subtract out in your totals when you get the exports, which is really, really slick. That's one of the advantages of being able to do individual monitoring. So if I come back out here, I can actually see that the office only shows $399 on the home page, even though if we actually go into it specifically, it's going to be a little bit higher, 420, and that's because it's adding up all of the items. So here you see it, and in your exports, you'll get individual exports, which is primo, so you can measure things. And again, I was actually kind of worried that those fridges were using a lot of power, right? That's what I was telling you about earlier. Let's go into the fridge first. So I can go to the minute. You can see the compressor kicking on and off. It's using 100 watts for, let's call it 15 minutes, right? You know, maybe 12 minutes. And if I go back here, you can see this is a pretty common pattern. If we go back to the hour, you can see that it kicks on and it uses, about 40 watts average per hour. Let's go by day. So by day, it's using 1 kilowatt hour a day. So really, it's the same as a 50 watt light bulb for an entire fridge and freezer combo that we have, which is pretty amazing, right? Then if I don't know what watts are, I can just go to dollars. And there's my dollars per day. It costs me about 12 cents a day to run that. So that's how cool these smart energy plugs are, is that you can actually see, and you can see the plug that I've got here. So this is the Emporia smart plug. You can actually see how much power this lamp is using, and you have both app control, and I can turn it off manually here. So this is just me hitting the button on the side, and I can turn that lamp on and off. So it's got that. Now if I go out to a week view here, I can see that garage fridge costs us about 60 to 80 cents a week. That matches up. So really, really cool capability that they have here to monitor all these. So I've shown you just quite a few of the things that they've got. I want to show you about one more thing and tell you about one more thing that they've got coming. I'm going to pull it up here. I do have it in the carousel, and I don't have it in person, so I try not to put things out here. It's an Amazon rule that you have to have so many percentage of things in person, but I do want to tell you about this thing because I'm going to buy this as soon as it's available. They're working on their UL listing. That's going to be a different SKU that's going to be available soon. This is not UL listed, but it's still made with similar components, let's say. There's some rules around that, that the UL version has. And this is a high power one. So if you've got a Tesla and you want a charger that'll do 48 amps, or you want to have for your Bolt or Volt or other plug-in, you can put their monitor out here. Now they're working on a system right now that they've just worked with the patent holder on, which is a bi-directional car charger. So what's a bi-directional EV charger? I was asking about this. It's just amazing. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Well, your kilowatts that are stored in that battery in the car are usable when you need them. So, you know, they're working with the manufacturers on this and they're working through all the patents. But the idea is that a home power bank, a big bank of lithium batteries, talking to Sean, it was about, I think it was $1,000 per kilowatt of capacity. And we use up to 10, 12 kilowatts when we need it. So it'd be a $10,000 or $12,000 cost to put a big battery bank in our house. Not only do we have a big battery bank that's dangerous in our house and, you know, there's all those issues. Well, if I've got a Tesla, I've got that in my car. I've got a 7 kilowatt hour in my little plug-in hybrid. What they're allowing us to do here, what their goal is to make it so that your charger could backfeed into your house. Now, this one is not the one that does that yet, but they're working on this technology to allow it to run your house during the day while you're home and charge the car at night when it's cheaper. So they're doing peak demand loading, which is amazing. But this is their car charger, and I'm super excited to get one of these because it has all of those Wi-Fi capabilities. It has the ability to set peak hour charging. The car had that until the manufacturer discontinued that feature in the app and discontinued their app. So now I can get this back if I want to charge after hours late at night when it's cheaper. So very, very cool system. This is the EV charger that they have from Emporia. Let me pull up their webpage real quick. So this is Emporia Energy here. Again, makers of the smart plugs, which I've got shown in the carousel right now. They've got the energy monitoring capability. They're working on these EV chargers, and they do have a home power bank. Again, if you have that capability and you want to do a whole home battery, you're doing a solar or an off-grid system, they have that. So that is the first look at the Emporia home energy monitoring. I've been super duper excited with it. I'm going to show you one more. Sorry about that. I just got distracted. But I want to show you again how much my freezer, this really old freezer, again, we talked about the 60, 80 cents a day. This old freezer is using like 10 cents a day. I would have thought that the freezer would have been harder, but once that thing's ice cold, it uses such little power that I waste more than that leaving other lights on or heat on in other rooms. So it was really amazing. So that is the Emporia Energy Monitoring System. That is their app, that is their smart plugs, and how that whole ecosystem works together. This is John the Net Guy. Thank you guys for watching so far. I've got 2 products left that were sent to me by a company called Trifle. And, it's a new company as far as, being on this channel. But I wanted to give them an opportunity because I saw something in their product that I have not seen in any of these products. I have not seen it in any of the Wise products. And I said, I need to show this to you guys because I do think there's a space where this can be very useful. So we're taking a look, and let me pull it up on the carousel. This is going to be the Trifle company, and I'm going to pull it up real fast. Coming back into our Tech on Wednesday show, and I'm going to pull it up real quick. And it's me, Tyler's asking, did you screw on the flooring on the wall? No, it's actually staples. The Craft Computing has a whole show on that, how he made that wall, if you're interested. So, Alexa-enabled smart dimmer for lamps. Now, smart plugs are one thing. Smart plugs that have energy monitoring are another thing. This product here, and I'm just going to open it and unbox it for you right now. So this product here from the Trifle company is their indoor smart lamp dimmer. Now, hopefully you guys can see it there. It's got a button, single button on the top. It's got a polarized plug. The difference on that is it doesn't have a ground. Now, don't put machinery or other things that require grounds and just use an adapter or something. That's not what this is for. But it has a polarized plug, but it has 2 plugs in one. So you're getting a smart plug that's a 2-in-1 on here, which I thought was really cool. Now, I'm going to plug it in to this, and then I'm going to show you how you can use it. Now, it's indexed because it's, again, we said it was polarized. So I have to put it in properly. Now, I set this up in their app, which I'm going to pull up as well. I'm going to get that old light out again because it's going to be kind of cool, the demonstration I can do here. It's connecting to my Wi-Fi, but if you hadn't connected it to the Wi-Fi already, it's super simple. You press the button on top 3 times, it blinks, and you go through the setup process. So this is from Trifle, and this is their Alexa Smart Dimmer. I'm going to pull it up here on Amazon as well so we have it ready. This is John the Net Guy. If you're just tuning in, we're taking a look at home energy monitoring and conservation tools. And this product right here is that dual lamp interface. It comes in a very small box. It is a single plug, but it has 2 ends. So you can actually run 2 different lamps off of it. But let me go here to the app. And then I'm going to pull the app up on the side so you can see it as well. So there's the app. I bring up my Trifle chicken coop. So let's go into here. So this is my chicken coop, and there is the brightness of it. It is off right now. If I hit the button, now I've set this up earlier for the demo, I can turn on my chicken coop. So if this was an outdoor light for your chicken coop, you'd have it maybe mounted. You could run 2 of them because it has 2 plugs on it. I can increase the brightness and lower the brightness down to almost nothing. You can see there, it's 1%. And I'll show you how low that is. Hopefully it's not going to burn out my filament. That's 1% brightness on that little tiny 25-watt bulb. I can bump it up just a little bit in the app, you can see. And as I bump it up on the app, my GoPro is readjusting the lighting here, but as I bump it up on the app, the light is getting brighter. So you have that capability. It also works with your smart home assistant. So I'm going to mute myself when I say her name. Okay, I had to increase her volume, and then we're going to do it one more time. Turn off the chicken coop. Is it going to do it? Let's see. I just added her earlier. Oh, there we go. And it dimmed down. You saw it dim away. So I have Alexa enabled this chicken coop that we have here. Sorry if I woke your Alexas up. Turn on the chicken coop. So now I can turn on the same thing remotely using that word that I'm muting when I say it. So I told her,
You mean chicken coop?
yes, I told her to set it to 10%. And now you can see the app update here, and you can see our light update. So this is one of the first indoor dimmers that I've seen, and one of the first ones that works so well. So the app's really, really slick. There's some things you can do with this, right? So you've got some capabilities with timers, routines, schedules. If you've got a wake or sleep routine, you can have it dim the lights down and raise them up. A lot of people really like that feature. So it has that. It also has some other automation capabilities in here. Just looking real quick. If I go to Smart, got it. Now I live in Mill Creek area, now you know. But I had a thing in here with our next product that's coming up where I said, hey, turn on or off the power to this depending on the temperature outside. So it's got hyper-local weather. So it knows if we go back to the homepage, it's 43 degrees right now. There's the outdoor air pressure, temperature, all that. So if I want to create a new routine, I hit plus, tap to run when weather changes, when I leave, when there's a certain time, or a status changes, right? And then it's just kind of like if this, then that. And so you can go in here and say if, tap to run, and then run the device, select a scene, delay the action, or do something. So you can go ahead and do those programming. And what I did is in this one, I said, if it's more than 39 degrees out, then turn the chicken coop light off. If it is less, turn the chicken coop light on. There are some limitations to this. Again, being a smart dimmer, it's not going to be as high powered as some of the other switches. I want to look and make sure I give you the right amounts here. So if you're using an incandescent bulb like I am right here, you're going to be limited to 300 watts, which is a lot. There's a lot of heat coming out in 300 watts on these. So you could use it with a heat lamp as long as it matches those ratings. If it's a compact fluorescent, it's 150. And if it's an LED, it's 150 watts also. So different kinds of loads, different kinds of power consumption. But that is the indoor dimmable light from Treat Life. And it's got their app that you're seeing right there. And I can go into the chicken coupe. Alexa loves to call her the coupe. So I can turn it on and I can raise the brightness up. So you can see really easy to use on the app or by voice or through a routine. You can even set up a routine to do some stuff with your smart home assistant. And it has manual control on the side there as well. I'm going to come back and show you one other capability and one other feature that they have. If you guys have any questions about these products that I'm showing here today, just let me know. Give me 1 second to get back into our Amazon Live. And I'm going to pull up the next product up, which is new from Treat Life. And this is the outdoor version of the same thing. So let me pull up back out and I'm going to give you a better view as I unbox this thing. And then I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see the box. So this is the smart dimmer plug with 2 sockets that are individually controllable or together, which is a cool thing. And it's outdoor rated. So it works with Alexa, works with your home assistants, works with Google and so on. I'm going to unbox it here for you right now. Super duper simple. It only has 2 pieces. It has the device itself and it has the instruction manual, which is super easy to follow. Again, turning this on all of these is very, very similar. It's just a triple click of the button, then go through the app setup process. That's the QR code to download their app and set it up. And it takes a couple minutes the first time, but once you've done that, you get a weather resistant version of this. Now, the plugs on here are great. One of the complaints I've had about the Wise version that is an outdoor smart, looks very, very similar to this. Well, one, it's not a dimmer. That one does energy monitoring, but it's not a dimmer. This is an outdoor dimmer. So if you have dimmable outdoor lighting and you want to plug them in here, you can control the brightness of, say, a driveway or some porch lights. And you can actually even automate it. So as somebody breaks a motion sensor or you're driving home and you're coming into your driveway or cul-de-sac or area, you can have it turn your lights on for your driveway. Very cool automation. But the covers here are just dynamite for keeping water out. I live in the Northwest and we get lots of water. Wish I've been born with gills, but these do not fall out. The ones from the Wise company, when you pull on them, they fall out. So these things are well attached. If you open just one of them here, the other one stays completely sealed here. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. And you can see the controllable lights come on. Now they're red here, and then it's going to turn off. Now you can set the light mode to be on or off all the time, on when there's something loaded into it. There's a lot of cool features in the app, but you can go ahead and turn them on and off here with the buttons, right? So let's take that same light load that I had here. I'm going to put that here so you guys can see it. And we're going to open this up. This is port 1. And there we go. And then if I want to do backup and I just want to turn it on, I can do that. And you can see it actually has that pretty nice dimming feature. That's one of the things I noticed because of these dimmers. They have that capability. They're definitely taking advantage of it. They'll dim up and down as you turn them on and off. So if you're just joining on Amazon, this is John, the Net Guy, and we're taking a look at the Treat Life Smart Dimmer Plug Outdoor Edition. This is one of the only products I've seen that's rated for outdoor use. It has individual plugs that is also a dimmer. So it's a smart dimmer. It works with the same app. Let's go back over to the app here. I want to show you guys that, and you get to see how this is working. So same app. Now I see my outdoor lights. Now I can use my Home Assistant. Give me 1 second. Turn off the outdoor lights. So now she's turned the light off. So now that controls both plugs at the same time. So you get one smart device that is both plugs. Now I'm going to turn it back on manually, but I can go into there and now I can control, let's say one of them was my driveway lighting. This number 1, you see I'm going up and down. I can control each side individually, or I can control them together. There's a all on capability versus all off. So I see this working out really, really well. If you're looking for a home automation solution that can go outside, that's weather resistant, that needs to have dimming capability. And the price on it is not bad. $33.99 for a smart dimmer with weatherproofing, and such a great job that they've done on the construction of this. Again, manual is really, really easy to follow on this one. Super easy to add to your system. That is from Treat Life. That is the outdoor smart dimmer. If you guys have any questions on Amazon, feel free to shoot them over here. I think we're getting close to wrapping up. I want to give you guys a small sneak peek of next week because it is so cool. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I have the correct photos lined up here. Give me 1 second, because next week we've got some cool products coming, and I cannot wait to show these to you guys because I've been getting set up for next week's show for quite a long time. We are going to have an air fryer next week on the show. I'm just going to get a couple more of these pictures here that I can show you, and I'm going to do some really cool, fun recipes. So if you have never used an air fryer, let me go to shared album here, and I'm gonna just transfer them so I can show them on the screen for you guys because they're so cool. Give me 1 second here. So next week's show, not this week, next week's show, I'm going to show you guys how to make those. So this is a air fryer chicken wing recipe with an air fryer, the XL model. I think the company is UE, is the company that makes it, but they sent this out to me because they wanted me to test it out, and I was going to do a kitchen tech show. And if you're the kind of person that boils water and burns it, this is where you need to go to make some pretty cool meals. Super easy to use. I'll show you a couple things here. A large 6.8 quart basket. I'm going to do this live. Now, I don't know how many people would do a live review in cooking, but we're going to cook a few things. I also have this fancy attachment here. Let's see if I can get that to come over. Yeah. Yeah, this is a Searsall. Hopefully I don't burn my camera. This is a searing device because we're going to be cooking steaks next week. So I'm going to do chicken wings with the air fryer. We're going to be doing some steaks with a sous vide cooker, sous vide, whatever you want to call it. There's a debate out there. Tomato. But whatever you want to call it, we're going to do some sous vide steaks and some salmon. And then I'm going to show you guys how you can use that to make them just look epic. So really, really, really cool stuff. Getting a question in there about the ability to charge only when you have excess solar on the Emporia. Yes, it has that ability to turn things on and off. I saw that in the menu, I think. So they're doing stuff like that. If they don't do it immediately right now, feel free to ask them, because they're hiring qualified engineers. They're really excited about where they're going. I'm excited about where they're going. Great question, Kren, there. So next week is going to be just an absolute hoot. I have the air fryer to show you guys, the sous vide. I also have a food, what do we call it? A like a food saver, a vacuum sealer that I want to show you guys. It's an excellent value. Those are really hard to find good ones, and I found one finally that's really good, and I'm going to show that to you on the show next week. That's going to be next week, Tech on Tuesday. It's going to be kitchen tech. Might not look like this. It's going to look very different, but we're going to move this operation mobile here, and we're going to show you all this really cool stuff. So this has been John the Net Guy. I'm going to take one last look at the chats and make sure I covered everybody. If you haven't already, take a look at checking me out on Amazon Live. I'm trying to build that up as quickly as I can. I would love to be on their Saturday shows and get to show you even more cool stuff. I want to thank all the companies today that have provided these great products. Let's talk about a couple things first. We started out with today was this tool, which is our flashlight, as well as our emergency light. It has that super nice work light, has that clip capability. Very, very good if you're going to use one of the other products that we showed here, which is the Emporia Energy monitor. So we talked about that. We did talk about the Kilowatt, which is another way to monitor energy in your home if you need to. We also, and I'm looking to see where I put it down. There we go. The Astro AI. We took a look at the Astro AI, which is their smart digital multimeter. Super cool product. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot the drawing. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, Jeremy. Thanks for reminding me. Oh my gosh, I got to do that. I have it all loaded up here. If you had just entered, I'm going to have to add yours. My goodness, thank you for catching that. So this, again, is the smart multimeter that we have here. We'll go through the rest of the products, and then we will get those. And we did talk a bit about the Emporia, both the view system and the switch. This is their monitoring switch. So it's a smart switch with energy monitoring capability. That one works standalone as well. I'm going to go check the emails here, and I'm going to see how many people we got, and then I'm going to load it up because we have that ready to go for you. Just want to make sure I've got everything where it needs to be. Here we go. And we're going to go to the next stage. And we're going to pick a winner. Thank you again for the reminder, Jeremy. Oh, I got 4 people coming in here. Oh, okay. I don't want to miss out. I'm going to add you guys here. I do want to have some privacy with the names. Let me go put these people in here. Okay. You've already been entered before, but I'm going to add that one who has not. And we are going to run over to our spinner. And we're going to do that. Thank you so much for tuning in to the very end here. And we are going to get some names in. There we go. And I'm going to go to the edit, settings, and we're going to change the spin duration. Okay, who's ready for the drawing? Here we go. This again is for the Lucy robot vacuum from Trifle Robotics. This has been several weeks in the making. This is a $300+ value. I don't know, it ranges between, about 310. I've seen it as much as 400. But this is the Trifle Robotics Lucy robot vacuum. Thank you guys all for watching the show, and thank you to Trifle for providing 3 robot vacuums to give away to you guys, which was just awesome. It's been really cool. Giveaways are hard to run sometimes, hard to remember. I need to have my run of show sheet here. I'm actually going to put that over here so I don't lose it while we're doing this. But that's what we're doing the drawing for real quick. I'm going to switch it over to that screen, and then we are going to do our drawing. Here we go. Got everybody in here. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Oh boy. Oh, Warren H. Warren H won that one. Okay, I know who that is. That is awesome. I really do appreciate you for entering. Thank you, Warren H, for your submission, and you have a robotic vacuum coming your way. Pretty cool product here. This is from Trifle Robotics. This is their Lucy. Let me pull it up on Amazon real quick because I just want to show you guys real quick what we're drawing for here. And this has actually been on a prior Tech on Tuesday, so I want to show you guys that real quick. I'm just going to go down here. And if you go to my Amazon page, they kind of changed all of this up. But here we're going to go back to the Trifle Robot Vacuums. This is the Lucy Robot Vacuum. $3.99 with $70 off right now. If you were interested in this, it is available from my Amazon shop. It is a great robot vacuum. It has 2 cameras in here, security camera capability, as well as pet detection, all that other stuff. It's really super fancy in here. And there we go. So there is the Trifle vacuum. I did have one other thing to show you guys here, and it did come from my other show the other night, and I want to show, again, for the drawing, this is the vacuum here. This is how good it is at dodging obstacles. This is the Lucy, and it's going around a obstacle. I showed you guys this on another show, which is pretty slick. So again, winner is Warren H on this one. Warren H has won this guy. But I wanted to pull up from my other one.
Oh, that's got to be a heck of a mess.
Oh, I got to go back. You got to see this. This was
Dang
from my
it,
other
Bessie.
show.
So that's how you got the cow pie in your undercarriage? Oh, that's got to be a heck of a mess.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was from another review video I did. That was a robot vacuum. The worst thing that can happen to a robot vacuum is a pet accident, and so that was part of a joke that I did for there. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to the winner. I don't see any other questions in the chat. If you haven't followed me on Amazon Live, definitely do that. I really do appreciate that. That helps me out. You'll get to be notified every single time I go live, and I will catch you all in the next video.